Hey, besties. Welcome back to another Monday with us. We're so excited that you're here. We missed you.
Hi, guys.
It's a good day. Today's a good day.
It is a good day, honestly.
We got coffee.
We got coffee. We got some donuts.
We got yummy drinks.
And yummy drinks, yeah. We each got 2 drinks. And Savannah always gets 2 drinks. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the same today, too.
Yeah, I rub off on you.
Yeah.
Except my yummy drink is not a yummy drink.
No, it's disgusting.
So gross. So I went through like a really short-lived energy drink era. And my skin was awful.
And her anxiety was at an all-time high.
I know. But they're so good. I don't know what they put in them.
She was not drinking the energy drink for the energy purposes.
Just the taste.
She just wanted the taste of it. And I was like, that's
so good.
Horrible.
I know. I felt like a little 13-year-old boy drinking energy drinks.
Yeah. No, when I was like, maybe 13, I would like, this is horrible. But like me and my friend, we illegally worked at a concession stand. Do you know GLASA? Like the Greater Louisville Soccer Association or whatever. So, I mean, I didn't need to work, but she worked all the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, the only way for me to hang out with my friend is to go like hang out there and work, quote unquote. And so they would like pay us in cash underneath the table. Like it was very illegal.
Yeah.
But the perk was like you could bring home anything you wanted from there. Like I
would
every
be 400
day,
pounds at like
I was
12.
Do you want to see my pictures? But like we would just take gallon-sized Ziploc bags and like take all the king-size candy bars at the end of the day and like have like free snacks all the time. But what we used to do while we were there, because we would work, again, child labor laws out the door, like from 7 a.m. until like 10 p.m. at night.
Oh my God.
And so
how much were you getting paid? Like $5 an hour?
No, we actually made like bank.
Really?
Because she would pay us in cash, like just from the cash register. So she would like, for the full day, she would literally just give us each like $300 cash.
Oh my God, and you were like 12.
No, exactly.
That's pretty good.
And I was like, can't complain. But what we would do, back to energy drinks, is we would take like the giant Monster cans and then take the giant pixie sticks that they carry at the concession stands and dump the pixie stick in the Monster cans.
Oh my God.
And I think that's why I have heart problems to this day.
Probably, yeah.
So.
Is that the same place where you guys would go to like, was it Taco Bell or Taco Casa and you'd get breakfast burritos and you'd take them out of the wrapping?
No, we would go to Jack in the Box. No, yeah, this place, like they would sell like breakfast sandwiches. And so the boss lady, who again illegally employed us, I would go with her sometimes because they were like family friends of them. And so we would go to Jack in the Box in the morning, order like 60 breakfast sandwiches. And then like the first job when we got to the concession stand was to unwrap them all from the Jack in the Box wrappers and take like plain paper and then rewrap them and then put them in the warmer.
Did you like guys charge more for them too?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you made
for
like
sure.
a profit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I did not know that was, well, actually I did know that was your first job, but I feel like I forgot about it until you brought it up.
It's just, that was honestly every job I had throughout that was middle school, but like middle school and high school was completely just because she always needed to work, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so like I always just
hung out with her.
Got the job just so we could spend time together.
That's so sweet. Aw, I love that.
And then I did the same thing with Savannah.
Yeah, that's true. Facts.
I just like working with my friends.
It's so fun. But yeah, the energy drinks pretty much effed up my skin.
So Savannah today tried to do the responsible decision and replace the energy drink. She ordered the same energy drink she always gets, but then she said, instead of the energy drink, can I do the Italian soda?
And it tastes awful.
It tastes like, I don't know if you guys are fans of sparkling water. I personally have a hatred for it.
It tastes like TV static.
Yeah, I just think it tastes like if, you know, when you go to like you go to a fountain drink and then it's out of syrup and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's exactly what sparkling water tastes like. Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. It's like the bubbles without the flavor.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah, it's gross. But I am that one. Well, I guess this would be like the first thing that actually affects my skin. But like dairy doesn't affect my skin. Thank God. Thank God. Dairy's never affected my skin. Peanuts doesn't really affect my skin. I don't eat a lot of egg because it grosses me out because my mom had like chickens at the ranch. And yeah, we got one that was like fertilized and like Or no, yeah, there was one that was fertilized. There was like a little baby in there, and it was like very sad.
Oh, you went to like eat it.
Yeah, and it like had like a literal like.
That's rough. I don't think I could eat eggs.
And then one of them was like disgustingly like spoiled, and it just like smelt the entire house up, and like me and my mom were like, like gagging like the entire day. And so after that, like it's just hard for me to eat eggs after having chickens. It's not like a ethical thing. It's just like I'm grossed out by them.
Like you'll eat eggs if it's like Chinese food or stuff like that, but like you're not gonna eat a plate of scrambled eggs.
No, it sucks. Like egg whites, I can get like away with like an egg white omelet, but the yellow in the egg. But anyways, back to where I was at. A lot of food doesn't affect my skin, and so I've never drank energy drinks because I was like not allowed to drink them growing up. Like my mom was like, they're bad for you. They're gonna give you a heart attack. Like it's gonna make you like live less long, and like. It just like wasn't a thing. Like we just like weren't allowed to drink them growing up. We never had them in our house. Like it just like wasn't a thing. So I've never really had them. And like, you know, I've had sips of people's Monsters and I like didn't like them. And then I always associated like energy drinks with like dirt bike racing like 13-year-old boys, you know?
Well, they're all sponsored by Monster.
And then I think everyone's seen that iconic video of that lady. Do you know what I'm talking about? That Christian lady at the Christian like convention center.
Wait, yes,
and she's talking about Monster, and she's devil. Like, "Hey, flip it over, 6, 6, 6." You know what I'm talking about? And so that's like ingrained in my head too. So, anyways, I just like never drink them. But Dutch Bros opened up closer to our house, and like a lot of my like peers and stuff were posting about this drink that they have there. And I was like, I'm gonna try it. It was the worst thing. It's like, you know when they say no, don't try drugs because you'll get addicted?
Oh yeah.
That was me with this drink. Like it was so, I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me sad. It's so good.
You start salivating.
I'm like, I want it. It was so delicious. It was so delicious because I never like have been a fan of like Alani Nu or Celsius or anything like that, but something they put in those Dutch Bro energy drinks just hits different. And the 151 energy drinks, like they just slay. But anyway, so I was like, whatever. Like, you know, I know biotin and B12 can break your skin out, but like, you know, all of the other acne triggers have never affected me. So I'll probably be fine. Savanna was not fine. No. Tyler can tell you my skin had so many, and they weren't inflamed. It was all non-inflamed acne, just like a bunch of whiteheads, blackheads, just like texture and bumps, especially on my forehead. And I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, what's the only thing I've changed, you know? And
well, I feel like it was also kind of harder because you were also traveling a lot during the time.
My energy drink era.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, and you were also trying a lot of new products. So it's like there are so many things going on. And so, but then she stopped the energy drinks and
my skin cleared up.
Yeah. So.
And then I accidentally used Eminence in Hawaii, and that gave me like inflamed cystic pimples.
Yeah, that wasn't good. You knew better though.
I know.
You knew better, but you still did it.
I know.
Everyone deserves a little feel good moment.
I know. And it's that was like my whole thing was like, you know, I always am using for the past 6 years, you know, Strictly Skin Better, Face Glymed, and like, you know, a couple other brands that I sell thrown in there. And they're good, they're fine, they just don't smell like, and which is important. You don't really want a bunch of fragrance in your skincare products. Like they don't do anything except cause irritation and smell good. That's like the only thing. And it's like, honestly, I'd rather not have fragrance and not have to worry about skin irritation, you know? If you want something to smell good, like wear a perfume, you know?
You told me, I remember you used to tell me that like a product, if it had amazing results, but it smelled like cow manure, like you would still use it. Like 100%. It doesn't matter. Like
I don't care.
You don't.
It could smell like cat piss and I'd still put it on my face.
Okay, that's too much.
No, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Isn't that like the most vile smell?
I think so.
I don't have cats. I've never had cats, but I've heard that.
You've smelled our laundry room. You know what it smells like.
No, but that's masked with litter. But I'm saying like pure cat piss, like on your clothes.
It's potent.
Yeah.
I remember, we're jumping around to stories today, but it's okay. So when I was in, I think it was middle school. Yeah, Athena, that bitch. She like pissed in one of my boots. Like she pissed in one of my boots. And I was like rushing to get ready for school. And like, I don't know when she pissed in it, but at some point in time, she pissed in my boot. Okay. And I'm walking to school or whatever. I'm like, it smells like cat piss. Like, ew, like someone around here is like disgusting, like gross, right? And then I get into class and I'm like, oh my God, that must be like the person's like in here, like that smells like cat piss. And then I go to my next class and I'm like, dude, another person smells like cat piss in here. And then finally, I'm like, it's me. Like, I am the one that smells like I smell like cat piss. And I remember being so embarrassed, and I like text my mom, like, can you please come bring me new shoes? Can you come pick me up? Like, I smell like cat piss. She's like, no. And so like the entire day, like everyone's like it smells so weird. Like it smells kind of like cat pee. And I'm like, I don't know who it is.
Maybe that's where like that's the trauma that caused you to like be a fragrance addict now and smell good all the time. You're like, never again.
No, you know how embarrassing it was to walk around school for 8 hours knowing that your boot smells like cat piss and you're just tracking cat piss around the entire like building.
Yeah. No, that's where I told you about that one time my friend smelled like ketchup the whole day.
Oh yeah.
And that's worse.
Yeah.
Cat I take ketchup over cat piss.
I was like, God damn it, Athena. But yeah, so I stopped drinking my energy drinks. My skin cleared up. My skin's finally back on the up and up. I just have some PIE, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's post-inflammatory erythema left over on my face, which is just redness that you get from like blemishes or like an injury or anything like that. But they're clearing up really fast. But the whole imminent story, we'll have to get into that. So
let's just talk about Hawaii.
Yeah, we can.
I didn't go, so.
You want to hear the catch up?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to say. It was very slow and chill, but I'll tell you guys all about my sea animals. So for me, I feel so at peace when I'm in a body of water. Like I love being in water. It like makes me feel so whole and complete. And I actually read something that was saying like when we're in baths or just like in water, it's like so comforting for humans because it's the closest you'll ever be to being like in your mom's belly again with all the amniotic fluid. You know?
I feel that.
Because like when you're a baby and you're just a little fetus floating around, like you're just in a sack of fluid and it's like warm and it's comforting. And so like, as adults and stuff, like when we're in baths and hot water like that, like it brings so much comfort to us and security because it reminds us of being in the womb.
I feel that.
Isn't that nice?
That is nice. I don't like being in cold water.
No, yeah, but when you're in your mom, it's warm.
No, but I feel like the only thing I like is a bath.
Yeah.
Outside of a bath, I'm not a fan. I don't like swimming. But I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just don't. Did you swim a lot as a kid?
Yes. Yeah. You guys had a pool growing up though too, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I feel like I got swam out.
No.
Swimmed out.
I would literally stay until my entire body was like pruny.
No.
And then my mom would have to like drag me out and be like, it's time for dinner. Like get out of the pool.
So you've always been a water girl.
Always been a water girl. I can ask my parents. Like I am like a fish and I love swimming. But I also grew up with a family. Like my parents got engaged literally after a dive in Mexico. So they're scuba divers. Like my dad's dove like the Great Barrier Reef. Like they're both like really big divers. And they go to like Belize and go dive and all that stuff. So I think definitely like my parents being like really big water people has definitely like affected me to want to be in the ocean. And I feel like just being in the ocean too is like it's so peaceful. It's like a whole different world. Like when you're under there, like it's just like everything else in the world like stops,
Yeah.
Like you can't be on your phone. You don't have to really see people. Like you're just literally feel like you're in a different dimension. Like it's a whole entire different world that you're in.
It's probably really nice for you.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so peaceful. And then you just feel like you're one of the fish. Okay. And it's so pretty. And it's like stuff that you can't see every day, especially living in Texas. It's just like it's just so pretty. Like I could scuba dive for like hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I always tell people about living in Texas is like you could literally go basically anywhere else and it's like so exotic.
Yeah.
Like because it's so flat and boring here. Like love Texas, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But like even just going to Colorado, like I always think like how do people live in Colorado and like this is what they see every day.
I
like
think
if
you get immune to it.
Maybe, but like
because I feel like when we were in Italy, like by like the last couple of days, like since we were there for like 16 days, like it's just you get so used to it. And then the second we landed, I'm like, I wish I like captured more of the moments of like the last day we were there because you're just like accustomed to it at that point.
Well, the last day we were there was
Naples and scary.
Yeah, that was the day before that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like that's probably how they feel. Like it's just they don't know anything really different.
Yeah.
And so it's just like this is life for them.
Yeah, no.
So I feel like that sparkle probably goes away for people that live there.
Which is so sad. Because girl, come spend a week in Texas.
Yeah,
and you won't appreciate it.
Get me home.
Yeah. But so you stayed just at the resort the whole time or you left?
We left to go to dinner one night at Merriman's or something like that. And it was like a set menu. So it was like sketchy for me.
Oh, those
and
never work out well.
And the only vegetarian thing they had was like, it's called, have you ever tried taro? Or taro? Let me Google it. It's like,
taro.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like a root.
Is it Asian? Or is it an Asian food?
I don't know. I don't really love it. It's a staple food. It's African.
Oh, interesting.
It's like I don't know. It wasn't good.
Okay, fair enough.
It was like a weird enchilada with like that was like the protein, I guess.
Is it mushy?
Yes.
Okay.
It kind of tasted like a potato, but it wasn't a potato.
Okay.
So it was just weird. But anyway,
Okay.
Lance got fish. He was happy. So it was good. But other than that, we did a manta ray night dive.
That looked like it was awesome.
So cool.
Was it cold?
Tyler, they did not. No. I thought I was going to die. Like the entire time I'm in the water, I'm like this. Okay. And I'm like, they probably think I'm having like a seizure. I'm not kidding.
So it was really cold.
I was so cold. I thought my nipples were going to fall off and drop down to the ocean floor. And one of the manta rays was just going to eat it.
That was my first thought when you guys said you were doing a night dive. Because I was like, it's already September, so I'm sure the water's cool.
Cold.
And there's no sun on you.
So cold. So I'm like trying to enjoy it as much as I can while I'm like, I think I'm going to have hypothermia and die. Yeah. And then once we get out of the water and then the boat ride, you're sopping wet. Okay. And it's a 30-minute boat ride back and it is just so blowing the wind. And I'm like, this is where I die. I was like, I'm going to get in the hottest shower when we get back to the hotel room. And they gave us a wetsuit, which makes it even worse. Like, even in a wetsuit,
it doesn't like dry off.
I was so cold even in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
And Lance was like, I was cold, so I know. Like literally, even Lance was cold.
Yeah, that's when you really know.
He was like, I was a little chilly. He's like, I literally was looking over at you, and you were like doing like this in water. I was like, yeah. But anyway, so what they do, which they call it a manta ray dive, but it's not a dive because it's actually you have snorkels on. But they like take you. It's really like it depends what company you deal with. Some of them have like professional lights. I don't know who the Four Seasons hooked us up with, but they were a great company and they were super fun. They were so nice, but they just had a surfboard with this light on it because what happens? So it's like a blue light that radiates and all the plankton like eat the like light or something. And so it attracts all the plankton. And when you attract the plankton, that's when you attract the manta rays. And you can only do this like literally in Kona in Hawaii. They don't have it anywhere else because this one spot, there's just so much plankton. Okay. And that's where the manta rays come. And so some of the workers that I was talking to were kind of sad because it's become so much more commercialized and like it used to kind of be like a hidden secret, but they're like, it's good because it brings money to us. But some of the guys were like, yeah, like it used to be like no one knew about it, like just like the locals, blah, blah, blah. And then just like some tour companies would do it. But then like TikTok happened and like someone like posted it on TikTok and it like went viral and now like people will come just to see it. So he was like literally within the last 6 months, he's like, there's been so many more like companies that are now doing this tour. Okay. He's like, it used to be like maybe like one or two. And I was like, honestly, like I'm glad there's so many people because it's spooky. Like I love the ocean. Yeah. But being in the ocean at nightlime is like a whole different ball game. So it's just a little scary.
Wait, so when you were out there, were there like other...
So many people.
Oh, like...
So, like, literally probably like 10 other boats.
Oh,
and so
okay.
For the boats to hook up, so there's 8 on each side, for the boats to, like, hook their anchor to, and all of them were taken. So he was like, I'm just going to have to, like, drive around in circles until y'all are done. So he's like, I'm going to let you guys off here and then let you, like, you know, swim over to the area where everyone is, where all of the manta rays are, and then, like, I'll come back in, like, 30 minutes. Because he couldn't like park his boat because they're all the anchor. He's like, that's the issue. Like if we get out here like a little late, he's like, they come earlier now. And like sometimes these companies will come and like wait for like an hour and a half just so they have a spot before you even get in the water and like the sun sets.
Damn.
Yeah. Cause it's like very competitive because there's only 8 spots.
So did you see this on TikTok or were you just looking at what the Four Seasons had?
I was looking at what the Four Seasons had. And then like, I was like, I wonder if it's on TikTok. And of course it was. Okay. And so then I watched videos and I was like, this is so badass. Like I'm definitely doing it. But it was cool. He said, the guy that went in with us said that, you know, they usually don't do barrel rolls like that. And they don't do barrel rolls anywhere else in the world. But they've learned how to do that and that behavior because of the lights that help them see better. Oh. Yeah, so they'll like see a cluster and they'll just start doing like rolls, like 3 or 4 rolls to eat all of the plankton. And it got so close to me, it touched my leg. It was insane.
In the ocean?
Yes, and they're huge. Tyler, they're bigger than this entire table.
Oh, wow.
So, like they're massive.
So the one that the resort had in the little pond.
That was an eagle ray, not a manta ray.
They're a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was cute too. So the resort had a pond called King's Pond. And they had, I think, 10,000 different species of Hawaiian native fish. And then they had the eagle ray.
Wow.
And he was like
How
past
big was it?
the Eagle Ray or the
No,
pond?
the pond.
They told us how many gallons, but I can't remember.
But it was big.
I wasn't listening to the water gallons. I was listening to the fish and like what was in there.
But it was big.
It was big.
Because on your videos, it looked like
No, it was
a little
really
kiddie
big.
pool.
No, it was huge. Because
Okay.
but I didn't go. It was also extremely cold in there because it was like very shaded.
Yeah.
So the sun didn't really hit there. So like the water is so cold. But I didn't show, but it goes like all the way back. It kind of like loops, kind of like a lazy river, but it's not a lazy river.
Okay.
It's just like,
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
But he was really cute.
Savanna was convinced that she could illegally buy one.
I was going to kidnap him and take
bring
him
it
back
here,
to Texas, but
and
then
we
he
were
wouldn't have a
like-
good life.
No, he would die so fast.
I love him so much.
You guys have that little like inflatable kiddie pool for Cyrus. Is that where he would live?
No, at my new house, I would have scratched the pool
in the
and I
new
would have made a
house.
pond.
But we have like over a year until that.
No, so we're going to go like a couple months before,
Okay.
go abduct him and bring him back.
Okay.
But I worry about him because he's past his life expectancy, so he could die like at any moment because they only live to be about 15 years old and he's 28.
Oh, he's like double his life expectancy.
Yeah.
That's like us living until we're like 160.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
And he survived the tsunami. Like
That
they
must
said,
mean-
like there was a tsunami there and there was so much debris in Kings Pond and they were like so worried that he was going to be dead, but he was literally like a lot of the fish died, but homeboy was like, I'm good. Like he was alive.
They must really take care of him.
Yeah, he has a very good life.
I love that for him.
Yeah, he really liked me. It
Yeah, I
made
know
me
he
feel so
did.
sweet. But honestly, like that, he was in obviously, I mean, it's not well, I guess it is captivity.
Absolutely. 1000%.
So he is in captivity. But the sea turtle that came up to me was a wild sea turtle in the actual ocean. So that made me feel more special because that was like, you didn't have to come. You have the whole ocean, you know? And so that was really cool. And I was like trying to get away from him. I was like, don't get too close to me because it's illegal to be within 10 feet. But he literally came to me. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
It's illegal to be within 10 feet of a
yeah.
turtle?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
That would have been okay. That would have been so funny if like there are just mug shots from your vacation because you were too close to a sea turtle.
I know. That would definitely be like, you know, when they have those memes that are like, send this to your best friend and ask them like what they would say. Like, if I got arrested, like, what would it be for? Mine would for sure be like touching the sea turtle or being too close to the sea turtle. But I was being very respectful of him. But he was coming to me and I was like, you're going to get me in prison. Back off.
So what was your favorite part of the trip?
I would say the sea turtle, honestly, is the only reason I'd say the sea turtle over the eagle ray was because it was like literally in the ocean and like it felt more special. The kayaking tour that we did was really cool too, though. We didn't see any dolphins or anything though, so I was a little sad. I did see dolphins, but from like the water, like they're very far out. They're called spinner dolphins, and they literally like spin in the air and go down. But that's also like very protected too. Like you cannot, like if you're scuba diving or snorkeling and the spinner dolphins come by, like you have to get out of the water because they are so protected, which I really love. Like that, you know, the U.S. is really protecting the marine life because it's important, you know?
Absolutely.
We want to keep them alive, and people are so abusive and mean, and like they don't, and especially like with the eagle ray, like you don't, like I didn't even touch him, even though he was like all up on me and like rubbing his body on me. Like I was like, I'm not going to touch him because they have a protective film on them that helps them, you know, not get infections. Same thing with the turtles. So when people try to touch the turtles or like they're like, oh, they have a bunch of like algae and moss, like I want to like wash them off and clean them, like that's actually hurting them because you're going to let them get infected easier. So it's kind of, which our next episode is going to be all about like the microbiome. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like you're exfoliating away their microbiome when you rub it and try to clean them. Like they need that to protect themselves from foreign invaders and from, you know, infections and things like that. So every time you touch, you know, a dolphin or a shark or anything, like you're taking that microfilm off of them and making them more susceptible to like infections and diseases.
Wow.
Yeah, just call me marine biologist, Sav.
Yeah, I know. Savanna came back from Hawaii and literally told Lance and I that like she wants to become a marine biologist.
I do.
She's like, what if I just like quit everything and become a marine biologist?
Sorry, buy SBA, buy skincare. But that honestly was like before when I was younger, like I had so many things I wanted to be. Like I wanted to be a therapist because after going through like a lot of depression and anxiety and like having a therapist that helped me, like I wanted to be a therapist because my therapist like went through the same things I went through, which I felt like I connected with her more because she had gone through stuff. Like I feel like it's hard if you have a therapist that's like never like
Your
you,
therapist
like
at
if
the
you were a
time,
therapist.
or your therapist now?
My therapist at the time growing up. like if you were a therapist and you'd be like, I know it must be so hard how you feel. And you're like, fuck off. Like you're so mentally healthy. You've never come through anything, you know?
Yeah.
But I think
what was it? I told you the other day that like, what did I tell you the hardest thing that I've been through? And you were like, I told her something about this was that hardest thing that I've been through.
I think I blocked
like,
that out because I was like, wow, your life must be
no,
so
that's exactly
hard.
what Savanna said. She was like, if that's the worst thing you've been through in the past 5 years, like you need to shut
what
the
was
fuck.
it?
I don't know because it was something so stupid.
It wasn't the Bahamas thing.
No, that was more than 5 years ago.
It'll come to us.
Yeah, well,
but it was like so
silly. It was very silly. But Savanna was like, so that just proves your point. You're like,
I was like, okay. So, yeah, no. And then, yeah, after a therapist, I wanted to be a nurse because I just wanted to marry a doctor and marry rich. But then I found out that doctors like basically cheat on everyone, and like the odds of like becoming a nurse and getting a doctor husband is like 0 to like pretty much like 1%.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You could have done it.
But that wasn't the only reason. I'm not going to sell myself short. I also wanted to help people.
She did. But
yeah,
maybe that's like
for like 5 years and then like retire and be like a stay-at-home rich wife. That's what I wanted. But then also I wanted to be a marine biologist, and then I also wanted to be an interior designer. But I feel like with my job now, like I kind of check all of those boxes except marine biologist, because I get to interior design my spa.
True.
I get to help people. I'm like obviously not a nurse, but I get to still help people and make a difference in their life.
Do. Absolutely.
And then I'm a therapist a lot of the time.
That's also true.
Like I was literally 35 minutes behind my entire day yesterday because my first client like just needed to like vent and like get everything out that's going on in her life before we started. And I'm like, I love doing that. But then also I was like, you can't just be like, hey, I want to stop crying so I can start microneedling you. Like your tears are going to, but it was bad. But all my clients were chill that day. And I gave them like a bunch of like freebie stuff. I was like, I'll dermaplane you for free, or I'll do this add-on because I felt bad. I don't like being 30 minutes behind.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard when you have a client that's, you know, letting out all their emotions to you. And you're like, okay, so we need to start your treatment. I know you're crying and telling me about like X, Y, and Z, but we got to go. So I just let her. And I honestly, you know, she's a really good client of mine. I really wanted to be there for her. So it didn't bother me. I was like, that's life. Sometimes you need to let it out. And people feel very comfortable and close with me to like let that out to me.
I don't think 30 minutes is that bad. I mean, it's not ideal, but how many times have you gone to a doctor's office and they take you right at your time?
I know.
Never.
Ever.
So you're fine.
Or even like with my Botox place, like my nail place, like everyone's behind these days. I don't know what it is. Okay. We got to wrap this up because we have a guest here.
Alrighty. Well,
I think
next
that's
week,
it, right? About my Hawaii trip. I think everything else was really good.
Yeah. I mean, you seemed like you had an amazing time. All thanks to my idea.
It was your idea. It was thanks to you.
She picked which resort to go to, though.
I would definitely recommend. The only thing I would say that was kind of frustrating, but I think everywhere in Hawaii is like that, because even when we like went into the main town, like it was so expensive. I had a chicken sandwich, you guys. I'm not kidding. It was $36. And then a side of fries was like $16. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I guess that's normal for Hawaii. It's just jacked up, the pricing there.
Yeah.
But I would say, as much as I love vacations, I can't do too many like slow vacations. Like I feel like when I was in Italy, it was just like go, 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 go. And so like I didn't really have time to get anxious. But like when you're on a beach trip, like you're just like laying and not doing anything. And so my anxiety got like really bad. And I was like, I need to work.
I'm going to say it's because I wasn't there.
Okay.
I think you'd have been having the time of your life if I was there.
Probably. I missed you a lot too.
I would keep you so entertained.
I know. You would.
I'd be your little dancing monkey.
I love you.
I love you too.
All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous Monday. Stay tuned for next week's episode. We're going to have Dr. Hitchcock, the creator of BioJuve, which is my newest skincare line at SBA, and I'm wearing it right now. And actually, like, y'all are probably like, why the hell are there random Krispy Kreme donuts here? So this is what your face is going to look like when you use BioJuve. If you're watching the YouTube video, you'll see the Krispy Kremes. Tyler and I already ate a couple. They're hot, fresh, and ready, so you got to.
I'm telling you guys,
I would have burned the building down if we got there and the hot, fresh, and ready sign was like not on.
I would have been really sad. But I'm telling you guys, I don't eat donuts very often. I probably haven't eaten one in years. And so when Savannah was like saying your face looks like a Krispy Kreme donut, I was like, what does she mean by that? And then when we got the donuts and then I looked at her face, I was like, wait, no, she actually looks exactly like one of these glazed donuts. Like it gives her reference is spot on.
Did you know? Remember when we did we talked about this or that, like the health food book that Paul has?
Yeah.
You know, bagels are more fattening than donuts.
That makes more sense, I think.
Yeah, they are. It's facts. Look it up. Google it.
Well, they're way more dense, and I feel like they have more carbs. Like, donuts are very airy.
But you would think, like, if you were, like, on a diet and, like, someone was like, would you rather eat a donut or a bagel? Which one would you have picked?
Well, here's the thing is it's, like, what type of diet? Because I feel like...
No, if you're just trying to be skinny.
Okay, yeah.
Which one would you say? You would go with the bagel.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like they're different. Because like one's super sugary and that makes you like bloated and like gives you like puffiness and stuff like that. Like I feel like the bagel doesn't do that as much. But like calories wise.
Yeah, there's more calories.
Right, Paul? Don't you think like a donut would make you more like the sugar? Yeah, exactly.
But we're talking caloric.
Yeah, caloric. Well, yeah, I think
I would... Just agree with me, bitch.
Okay.
God damn.
I have to overanalyze everything. This is how our friendship is.
I'm like, just say...
She asked me a simple question and then I'll go on for like 10 minutes.
I know. It's okay. Like last night when you were like, would you do the Ouija board? And I'm like, no. And you're like, kept going into these hypothetical situations. And I'm like, no.
No. We watched the movie Talk to Me. And I was like, she was like, it's not that scary. And I was like, you can't put yourself in these people's positions. Like,
no.
Like, it's so...
He was like, if I died, you wouldn't want to talk to me. And I'm like, you're in my heart.
You would want to talk to me. I think, like, you can say that now. But, like, if you had the opportunity to actually talk to me... No. And, like, I died suddenly and you didn't get to say goodbye. You didn't get to say anything. I think it's a very understandable situation.
You're in my heart, babe.
Okay.
You're in my heart. I'm not doing demon stuff. I'm a Christian.
But
I'm a Christian woman.
Ghost? What if it's just a ghost?
Keep your Monster Energy drink and your little talk to me hand far away from me. Thank you.
Like that.
All right, guys, we got to go. But we love you so much. Have a Slay Monday. And if you haven't ordered Bayou for me yet, you'll definitely want to after next week's episode. But you should just trust me. You shouldn't even have to hear it from Dr. Hitchcock, but he slays.
Yeah, order it. And then you'll get the full explanation and info. And then you'll like receive it the same day. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, or before.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we love you guys.
Happy Monday. Bye.
Bye.